with this being your last moment at MHS, what has been some of your favorite memories while being in high school?
First off, it would be Daniel, wait, should I say the names?
You don't have
okay, Daniel, I was like, at first I was like, is he just like a cartoon? And then I was like, oh, god dang. And then also like just an entire crew experience, as well as just like every year I feel like I've had special moments, including like overcoming COVID-19, as well as just like all the support I've gotten from my teachers and peers. So yeah, just like it's like I can't like right off the bat like choose a specific moment, but I'd just say like each year there's been so many great moments, and just like the overall support I've got from everyone has been everything has been memorable, I would say.
Good evening, and welcome to the Malden High School graduation ceremony for the class of 2023. We're one day later than scheduled. We're about 15 degrees warmer and a whole lot drier, so thank you for your patience. I'm sure there were many people that were checking weather reports such as I, but we've made it tonight. We're going to have a great night tonight. At this point, I'd like to welcome our graduating members that are part of the chorus to make their way to Mr. Cole. And as our students that will be singing with the chorus for one of their last times, I ask the students and all our guests to please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Students, rise. You may be seated. As we're waiting for our graduating members of the chorus to go back to their seats, I'd like to take a moment to welcome some special guests that are here tonight. Most of them sitting to my right. Actually, all of them sitting to my right, some sitting behind me. First off, from the school committee, Jen Spatafora, Adam Weldi, Don Macklin, Sharon Rose Zyber, and Rob McCarthy. And from our City Council is Karen Cologne Hayes. And also from Scholarship Inc., Mr. Greg Lucy. Behind me to my right, I have Superintendent of School, Superintendent Leah Noriega Murphy. It's my left, Principal Principal, that's me. Mayor Gary Christensen. Mayor Gary Christensen. Before we get started, I know that we have 410 students in front of me that made completed today and will be completed when we finish in the next couple hours. But I also know full well that that journey was not alone. There were many people that helped them get here, and it was not always easy. So what I'd like to ask the graduates to do is take a second, find somebody in the audience that is dear to you, a caregiver, a family member, a friend. I want you to rise, and I want you to give them a round of applause and thank them for helping you get here today. Please rise and give them a round of applause. You may be seated. I'd like to welcome Mayor Christensen to the podium to give his annual welcoming and speech to our graduates. And keep in mind and reminded that he's a former graduate of Malden High School. and he's also one of the biggest fans of Malden Public Schools. So with that, I'd like to welcome Mayor Christensen to the podium.
I only have one thing to say to the Malden High School class of 2023, and that is, we did it! Yes! We are the champions, my friends. Now you may be saying to yourself, wait a minute, what's this we all about? Well, we have been together for the last 12 years. 12 years ago, I was sworn in as mayor while you were starting first grade. Now a lot has changed since then, especially the gray hair. But I can't help but celebrate with you because I have had the honor of witnessing firsthand your successful journey to today. And it's not just that you made it, but it's how you made it, which is even more impressive. While you were growing up, the world around you was changing. Changes in technology, civil rights, and health, as it relates, of course, to the global pandemic. It could have easily divided you, but instead, it united you. Not only have you been united, but you have also been invested in your community and each other. You led your school to be a welcoming and inclusive place. You led your peers to strive more academically, athletically, and socially. You led your community on social issues, and you pushed yourselves to never settle for less than your best. Class of 2023, you have reinforced for future graduating classes that it's not just about where you're going, but rather it's always about getting there by being the best you can be. I would typically end here by congratulating all of you, but I wanted to do something more. Inspired by Poetry Slam champion Jade Mora, as well as City Councilor Amanda Linehan and Malden Arts President Candace Julian, Malden now has its own Poet Laureate. She will be making her inaugural poem right here for all of you. Please welcome C.D. Collins. Again, congrats to the class of 2023 and me. We did it.
I got a call from this guy, Mayor Christensen, and he said, congratulations, you're the new Poet Laureate, our first one, and your first assignment is due in 2 days. I was like, well, you want me to climb a glass mountain and find you a rose in the middle of winter? But he thought I could do it because he does the impossible every day. And this class of 2023, you've done the impossible also. When I moved from Kentucky to pursue my writing career, I met Patricia Smith and Michael Brown. These two people brought slam poetry to Boston. We met every week, we did readings and we did slam poetry. I did Amazon slams. And then suddenly I was working with a jazz band doing spoken word with music. And nobody else was doing that in the country. And then accidentally, I found myself as the female vocalist in a rock band. We did not know what we were doing. I did not know what I was doing, but we were doing it. And our CD won Best Spoken Word CD of Boston that year. I didn't even know I was Southern until I came to Boston. I was a high school English teacher from a very different culture, from Kentucky. When I took a class at Harvard and I opened my mouth, everybody got real quiet. They wanted to see if I could make a sentence. There's a lot of stereotypes about the South, and so I became an ambassador. I build bridges of understanding between cultures, and you will do that by moving people's hearts. So whatever paths you pursue from this day, you'll be an ambassador too. You'll represent where you came from, and you'll represent you. You've learned how to listen, how to work as a team, brave to stand alone when you need to, and call out what's mean. Looking out of this sea of blue tipped with gold, I see motivated faces, I see futures unfold. You will sail forth into this stormy, brilliant world from this day. The most exciting time in history, herstory too, okay? You endured a pandemic, you stayed on track, not derailed. You got through, you didn't just survive, you prevailed. You'll write your own history. Right now, that's a mystery, but we've seen what you can do. From a football game at Fenway to the literary oracle, your classes and clubs and all sorts of miracles. You've achieved alongside your sisters and your brothers, stuck by each other, both the majority and the few. Even defended absent classmates who were home with the flu. You did have the flu, didn't you? When you're home, we're glad you feel better because we're counting on you. Some books we loved are getting banned, but I'm not worried about that shady plan. Because when a book banner says no, they're forgetting the power of the golden tornadoes. Oh yes, they'll be crying when they face the fury of Nedlam the lion. When books get banned, those book sales soar. We'll read Glass Castle, The Handmaid's Tale, and we are okay. Kite Runner, The Great Gatsby, and this book is gay. Hawthorne and Faulkner and Shakespeare and Chaucer with his chalice, The Bluest Eye, Milk and Honey, and the truth about Alice. You'll shape a world and make your own choices, a place of equality where we'll hear all the voices. Sometimes you'll know the steps to the dance, sometimes you'll fly blind by the seat of your pants, accomplishing feats like a knight medieval, searching for the holy grail in the forest primeval. Please announce that for me. Yes, we love the commuter train. We love the new orange line, shiny cars. Accomplishing feats like a knight medieval, searching for a holy grail in the forest primeval. Take the chance to change hearts for the better, and what's more, you'll invent things and speak words we've never heard of before. So let your dreams glow, let your song flow, let your palm shoot lasers to Mars, to the far-flung stars, to the mighty class of the gold and the blue. Go with love and hold fiercely to your own truth. When your history is written and your legends are told, remember, class 2023, the blue and the gold. Thank you.
This opportunity tonight. I'd next like to bring to the stage Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Lahia Noriega Murphy.
Thank you. Hello, hello. I have to say congratulations, class of 2023. I've never met a class that has so many parties. You know how to have a great time. You had like 50 different events that was so hard to keep up with your schedule. And that means that you are getting ready to go to college, career, to continue having fun. And I'm so happy to see all of you here with the beautiful smiles. And I know some of you are first generation, going to college, going to career. Your families must be so proud of you. I'm very proud of you because I have to say that you did the recovery from COVID a thing of the past. You came together, you stick together, you supported each other, and now you're here. So I just have to say congratulations to all of you, and remember, this is just one step to multiple things in your life. Do not stop. Do ever stop. Just continue achieving your goals. Congratulations.
The seats, I think we've gotten to the point of the graduation ceremony that I know I like most, and I think all of you will like the most as well, and that's when we get to hear from our students, our graduates, our kids. I would like to welcome to the stage first our orator, Mr. Edmund Chen.
Good evening, class of 2023. First off, congratulations, Malden High School seniors, for graduating. My name is Edmund Chen, and I am honored to be your class orator. Now I know what you all must be thinking. How did I, of all people, end up in this position? After all, I have never fit the conventional model of a scholar, and I've only accomplished exploiting our school's grade point average system to get here. It's true that I am not all that. In fact, I'm more like all of you. Now that we've completed our high school journey, we are beginning to write the next milestone of our lives. With that in mind, I'd like to share some words of advice through an acronym of the iconic footwear, the Croc. The first C is for curiosity. Never settle for less than what you already can accomplish. Your hunger for knowledge can never truly be satisfied because there will always be something new to learn. As a student with a 4.9143 GPA, I believe we are all entitled to a quality education beyond our high school diploma. Although most of us are at the peak of our senioritis, I encourage all of you to remain engaged in what you study, as passion fuels opportunities, and involvement enhances human wisdom. As Einstein put it, the only source of knowledge is experience, so continue exploring the world around you. The R stands for recreation. Remember the importance of having fun. Don't let your academics consume your entire life. Maintain a healthy work-life balance. Maintaining a healthy work-life balance is equally as essential as boosting that one grade from a 96 to a 97. Your time in high school and life itself is too short for you to let it pass you by. Hang out with your friends, even if your social battery can't tolerate them. Join a club and make a difference for your community. Play a sport. Shout out to tennis and field hockey. Spend 21 hours a week playing Genshin Impact. Do something that makes you happy, because you deserve it. You deserve to live a well-rounded lifestyle that includes times of leisure. The O is for optimism. Always remain diligent under the pressures of adversity. The fact that you are all here today is a testament to your resilience against all odds. We survived a global pandemic. We finished our first real year of high school as upperclassmen. We've conquered the trials of the infamous College Board and final exams. We lived through an era of injustice, violence, and locked bathrooms. We've been tested spiritually, intellectually, and personally for the last 4 years. No matter what you may have struggled with in the past, be proud of how far you've come now. We've always found hope that helped us persevere through these difficult times, and I hope that in your future endeavors, you remember to remain positive. And the last C is for charity. Receive kindness and give it back. Show courtesy, even in the darkest corners of the earth. I'd like to take this moment to appreciate those who have shown me kindness. Thank you to my entire family for raising me with the humility and resolve that I exhibit today. Thank you to my former mentors for seeing the potential that I never saw in myself. Parentheses. Fairway represent. End parentheses. Thank you to Malden High School staff for keeping me academically challenged and invested in what I learned. Thank you to all of my friends who supported me, even in the latest hours, for my daily tangents. You've all left a profound impact on me, and I promise to uphold the same levels of compassion wherever I go. Although I have all these great people in my life, I do have to stress to not treat people with kindness because you expect to receive it back. Do so because it is the right thing to do. The Croc isn't perfect, much like our time at Malden High School. There may have been holes and tensions along the way, but you always found the courage to take the next step. Now I also understand that there is an S in Crocs. If I were to include that letter in this speech, it would stand for success. Now the reason I excluded S is because success is never given. It is earned through years of determination and hardship, which I am sure everybody here has confronted firsthand. Whether it's today or in the distant future, I'm sure that no matter how far all of our paths diverge, we will all end up where we are meant to be. Whether that is in work, the military, or a university, we will all experience prosperity in the following years. This may be the last time we'll ever be together, but I know that our generation will be the one that will rock the world. I'm gonna take a selfie real quick, I'm sorry. No, Crocs did not sponsor me, and for the final time, thank you and goodbye, Malden High School.
Great job, Evan. Great job. At this point, I'd like to welcome our salutatorian, Allison Yu, to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Mastrangelo, and good evening to all the family, friends, faculty, teachers, esteemed guests, but last but certainly not least, the beloved class of 2023. It feels surreal to be standing here before you as a salutatorian. We all anticipated this day to come, but now that it is finally here, my emotions are all over the place, so bear with me if you see my eyes start to water. Fellow soon-to-be graduates, I want you to close your eyes and think back to the very first time we were all gathered here like this. Freshman orientation. Anticipation hung in the very air of the Jenkins Auditorium as your eyes scanned the room to see how many new and unfamiliar faces. Little did you know, the person sitting a few rows back would be your new best friend, or teammate, or hallway crush. Keep in mind the feeling of excitement you felt in that moment. Now compare it to the emotions you are feeling now as you open your eyes. How are they different? How are they the same? Well, the difference is that instead of staring into a sea of unfamiliar faces, I can warmly gaze upon a class of friends. And what's the same are the feelings of anticipation and excitement. When I look into the audience, I see a group of young adults eager for what comes next. Except now, you are equipped with 4 more years of experience. All the seemingly small feats and challenges you overcame have shaped and molded the person you are today. Whether it is passing Miss Mativa's infamous math class, or staying awake during one of Mr. Lightbody's lectures, the fact that you are sitting here in these chairs today is evidence that you are able to face and conquer all the obstacles that high school threw at you. Through all the ups and downs we have had over the years, we have fought triumphantly and persevered in the face of adversity. Even the rain couldn't stop us from graduating. Now, as you move on to the next stage of your life, reflect on all the friendships and bonds you've shared with your peers and teachers these past 4 years. Each person that you've come across in the hallways, in the classrooms, in the stands of a game, may have influenced you for the better. I didn't even think about joining a sport until I started high school, but crazy enough, one of my closest, most cherished friendships started in indoor track practices during freshman year. Shout out to that person, you know who you are? No one could have predicted the people you've met or the places you've gone. But I am a firm believer that wherever you go, you keep a piece of everyone who has touched your heart. Other ideas to reflect on are the lessons we've learned, not only from our time here at Malden High, but also from our baby days back in middle school and elementary school. I'd like to recite a poem by Robert Fulghum that was introduced to me and a few others on the MTech camping trips. It is titled, "All I Really Need to Know, I Learned in Kindergarten." Most of what I really needed to know about how to live and what to do and how to be, I learned in kindergarten. Wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but there, in the sand pile at Sunday school. These are the things I learned. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt somebody. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good for you. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think some and draw and paint and sing and dance and play and work every day some. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go out into the world, watch out for traffic. Hold hands and stick together. Be aware of wonder. Thank you to Jake for introducing that poem to me. As you carry on with the rest of your lives, you may be swept up in adult responsibilities, but always keep with you your childlike wonder that we are all born with. Take care of your inner child with the occasional warm cookies and cold milk. To the teachers and staff I've met along the way, thank you for being the guiding hand to discover my passions. Thank you to Mr. Marks for teaching me that a string plus anything is a string, and that you can make any room brighter with a positive attitude and a ton of Christmas lights. Thank you to Ms. Clapp for teaching me topic position reasoning, and that procrastination and annotative bibliographies don't mix. Thank you to my mom and dad for always being there for me, and thank you to all the families and guests for listening to my spiel. Lastly, for the class of 2023, to commemorate the final time we rep the colors of Malden High, I'd like to recite a line from the Malden High fight song, which I'm sure not even Master Angelo knows. Kathy Mack, this is for you. Our colors are the blue and gold. Our war cry, MHS. Such stories of our fight are told, that fame can never grow less. Lead us to victory as of old. Give us leaders, players, coaches bold, that will cheer, 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 and will fight, fight, fight for the wearers of the blue and gold. Thank you and good luck to everyone.
Excellent job. At this point, I'd like to welcome our class valedictorian, Ryan Lee, to the podium.
So, the first two speeches were great. Let's see if I can top that off. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Lee, your class valedictorian, and I want to congratulate everyone for getting to this point because, wow, we made it. Beginning with our first steps up that staircase in 2019, through 2 years of isolation and limited physical attendance, to finally solidifying all those connections we made online in our senior year, we survived the tutorial known as high school. However, who would have thought that our first 4 years would pass by in the blink of an eye? To all my fellow graduates here, raise your hand if it feels the same way, how time passed by in a blink of an eye. That is a lot of hands. To be honest, I also felt that way. And I cannot believe that it ended all so quickly when there were so many lessons to learn, quests to complete, and joys to be had. But the past is in the past. And now we look to the present and the fact that we are graduating today. When I sat down to think about how to write this speech, I thought about how I could bore you for 8 minutes straight. However, I decided against doing that because even I would not want to speak for that long. So here it is, the speech that you're all waiting for, about the future. But before we speed off into our next sunrise, I want you all to look at those on your left and those on your right, and reflect on the past. All those bonds we created, all those friendships we made, and all those thoughts we kept, do not lose them. No matter if 5, 7, or 20 years have passed, remember that there will always be a happy memory to return to. Our class has triumphed in one of the weirdest of times, made normal what the world experienced was abnormal, and our precious memories will be our strength that continues to make the world a better place. However, these abnormal times also serve as a lesson. Moving forward does not mean moving alone. Just because we triumph through the toughest years of our life through an unforgettable endeavor does not mean that we can conquer problems alone. I will not talk about the current state of the world, but remember to keep your eyes open, keep your mind open, and believe that there are others close around you that will come to your aid, no matter if you possess disagreeing opinions. Pushing forward is a very lonely adventure, but finding the right friends that will always support you makes the journey ever nicer. It might seem tough at first, but I urge you to try striking up that conversation. Talk about the basics of life, and find a connection that you can create a lifelong bond on. There's an ancient Chinese proverb that states, 人不可貌相，海水不可斗量. A person cannot be judged by their appearance in the same token as the sea cannot be measured with a bucket. You cannot just judge a person by their appearance because their character is as vast as the ocean and their ideas as diverse as its species. My parents, especially my mother, came to the United States with the belief of the American dream. They worked hard, learned English, bought a house, and built up 2 successful restaurants in their name. There are some in this crowd, and I'm very proud for how much work they have done. And fellow graduates, that is all we have. An untapped potential that is waiting to gush out whenever we achieve something with a goal in mind. It does not matter if it is in art, STEM, or trade skills, because the world needs all of them. Instead, the key is to find what excites you, what you know will continue doing no matter what. Thus, I urge you to be confident, take those risks, and to find whatever you believe to work for you and achieve it. And with that, I want to say, good luck on your journey. Wherever life takes you, no matter if it is a different dimension from the overworld that we know now, take it one block at a time, and always think before you take the next path. After all, building a better self through better decisions means a better lifestyle and a better future. But before I end, I want to thank all the teachers and students that suffered from my antics. I want to thank Malden Public Schools for our 12 years of education, and I want to thank all the adults who get to see their child move on to the next stage in life. And remember, class of 2023, be the best you can be, no matter where you are in the world. Congratulations, and I look forward to seeing you on the next side, on the other side.
Speech from the students today, I'd like to welcome to the podium our class president, Laureate.
Good evening, staff, administration, family members, and friends, and good evening to the Malden High class of 2023. Was I aware of the fact that I was supposed to write and deliver a speech today since last October? Yes, I did. Did I still start and finish writing the speech yesterday? You best believe I did. But while I was laying down in my room this last Friday night, dreading how to write a speech that recaps and concludes our chapter in high school, and prepares us to have a positive mindset for the next chapter of our lives, while also obviously capturing my intense humor and sarcasm, there was so much that came to mind. Should I mention the 2 days of freshman orientation 4 years ago that felt like the longest thing in the world? Or the excitement when a teacher was absent and we could spend the entire period in our favorite teacher's room? Should I mention the long lunch lines at fourth lunch with our stomachs rumbling, or our time in flex where we spend the entire time talking to friends even after knowing we had a major test the period after? It's not so feasible to summarize our 4 years at Malden High in just 5 minutes. All the diversity that this place offers, from all our respective backgrounds, identities, cultures, interests, identities, and a plethora of other aspects. When we all walked into this high school 4 years ago, it was like hundreds of unique life stories and experiences coming together, ready to continue our stories for the next few years alongside each other. One of these stories was mine. I came in the US 6 years ago from pretty much the opposite side of the planet. My earliest childhood memories were giving declamation speeches at 6 years old and dancing to Bollywood music at school annual functions in front of about 1,000 people. As a result of my family's constant support and encouragement, with anything that I did, I was my very own celebrity, and no one could have convinced me otherwise. Then when I was 12 years old, we moved here. When I tell you the cultural reset was crazy, it really was. Everything that was considered to be normal for me changed. Everything from the past, the people, the memories, the places, were all left behind, and I was expected to adjust to this new normal. And within this dynamic journey of adjusting to this new life, there were a lot of times where I found myself losing certain pieces of myself. I was so preoccupied with wanting to adjust to the new normal that I didn't end up prioritizing the very nature of who I was. I displayed my persona so that people only saw the serious, hustling sides of me, rather than the person who actually looked at life with glistening eyes, always bouncing around with a constant sugar rush. What was the reason for my personality being masked? Maybe it was me trying to hide my vulnerabilities, fit in with the people, or simply please and prove others of my capabilities. But in this journey, I was misperceived by people all throughout. My caring nature sometimes seemed too authoritative for them, or my wish to simply help people and rid them of anything that they may be having troubles with seemed too egotistical. But on the other side, even if I acted nonchalantly or passively, then I was deemed irrelevant or not capable of being a source for people to rely on. It was at this time that I came to realize that no matter what I do, it's not possible to please everyone. Being a woman of color, you'll always be subjected to people's expectations for you. They'll act uncomfortable and judgmental when they see you in roles of authority, and when you don't push yourself to your limits, then their assumptions and stereotypes about you simply having a reserved role in life are strengthened. But I hope that after we all leave here and take on our respective paths, be that college, a gap year, trade school, or the workforce, then we remember that we don't have to be a certain way for people to like us and accept us. Remember to not let comparisons, expectations, and stereotypes determine your path in life. If that's how people always viewed life, then we would not have had figures that we consider to be icons of our history and our generation. Instead of being so fixated on what others think of you, remember that the first step is to love yourself. And the only way that is possible is if you accept yourself and be true to yourself. You're also special in your own way and have contributed to our school and will continue to contribute to this world in amazing ways here on forward. But not only the diversity of our school is the reason why it's so hard to summarize these last few years, but also everything that we have gone through as a class and as a generation, be that the COVID-19 pandemic, global political turmoil, international wars, and so much more. Hopefully, neither do we see the end of this chapter as a final goodbye, nor do we let the fact that we had an unconventional high school experience disappoint us, but just see this as a beginning of the next, even more wonderful chapter of our lives, taking all the wonderful memories from here, making new ones. As I approach the end of my speech, I still am unsure, what else can I fit in? Should I mention the football games in the cold and rainy weather? Or the week of pep rally where everyone got their competitive sides out? Well, except our senior class. Like I said before, it's not possible to mention all of it. Malden is the only home that I've known in this country, and this may be the case for so many of you here, growing up in this town with the same people ever since elementary school. But I hope that when we continue to go on with our lives in whatever part of the world that we'll be at, we'll take a piece of our home in our memories and remember the nuances of our hometown in our future experiences. Maybe while you're dreading speaking in front of a crowd, you remember how jittery you used to get before poetry out loud. Or while you were feeling tired trying to hike up a cliff, you remember how you used to lose your breath going from the cafeteria all the way to the 4th floor. Finally, I would like to leave you off with a quote from the goat of our generation, Mr. Kendrick Lamar himself. Take advantage, do your best, don't stress, you have granted everything inside this planet. Anything you imagine, you possess. Thank you so much to our wonderful teachers, family, and friends for being with us throughout, and happy graduation to all of us.
Just a little bit about Malden High School Scholarship, Inc. It was founded in 1909. We've given out 1,900 scholarships over the years to a tune of about $2.2 million. And I have to say, probably in the last 10 years, we were able to give out about $1 million. The group consists of 24 trustees and corporators, all Malden High School graduates, ranging from the high school class of 1960 to the high school class of 2010. So this year we're giving out 33 scholarships for $4,000 a scholarship. So as I read your name, if you could stand. Tenzin Bhutia, Leanne Bloom, Penelope Buckingham, Peyton Karen, Tiffany Chow, Edmund Chen, Jason Chen, Ava Conroy, Sarah Diamond, Jeshel Espiritu, Maria Ganaza, Lyra Gold, Alexander Goon, Noel Hayes, Jonathan Hun, Melina Lamb, Kelly Lee, Kyle Lee, Ryan Lee, Kevin Lynn, Mandy Mann, Naveen Namalapuri, Tracy Nyaga, Anne-Marie Wen, Quentin Nguyen, Patty Nino de Guzman, Dai Pham, Eric Tang, Dennis Toro Beltran, Christine Wang, C. Wong, Allison Yu, and Zyla Zhu. Congratulations to the 33 winners in the class of 2023.
2023. I want to wish you all the best of luck as you end this chapter of your life and enter a new one. Congratulations to the class of 2023. May all your dreams come true. All right, here we go. Ryan Lee. Allison Yu. Edmund Chuck Chen. Sora Ratua. Andrew Lewis. Isabella Elaine Ivy. Gianna Therese Downey. Noelle Antonia Hayes. Z. Zhu. Kylie Hope Gray. Peyton Alexis Lightbody.